So, hello students, welcome to the second part of the video on the relief of ocean basins. If you can recall, in the previous video, we had talked about the difference between oceanography and oceanology. We have also talked about the different sounding techniques that are used for bathymetric studies of ocean basins, and then we have discussed the two relief structures, the continental shelves and the continental slopes, right? So now we will be starting with the deep sea plains in this lecture. The deep sea plains, they have a variety of relief features, the first one being the deep sea fans and the continental rise. So the deep sea fans are the fan, lobate or apron shaped depositional features that are found at the base of continental slopes and in many cases even at the mouth of submarine canyons. Why are they called as deep sea fans? Because they resemble the alluvial fans in the structure. So this is one of the reasons why they are called as deep sea fans. They are formed due to the gradual deposition of the sediments brought by the submarine turbidity currents. These turbidity currents, as they are moving down the slope towards the deep sea plains through submarine canyons, they deposit the sediments there. Further, when a few deep sea fans coalesce, the resultant depositional features is called as continental rise. These continental rise, they have varying morphometric characteristics. These structures, they are found abundantly in the Atlantic and Indian Ocean, and few are also observed in Pacific Ocean. Further, the average width of these continental rise is less than 300 kilometers, while the amplitude of the relief, that is less than 40 meters. Further, the depth of water over the continental rise, it ranges from 1.5 to 5 kilometers. Now, if we look at the origin of these relief structures, what has been observed is that the submarine turbidity currents, they move through the submarine canyons, they erode these submarine canyons and they transport them down the slope. What happens is this transportation down the slope towards the deep sea plains, as they reach the canyon mouth, the speed of these currents is slowed down. As a result of this, what happens is the suspended sediments, they settle down due to the decrease in gradients near the mouth of submarine canyons. As a result, what we get is a well graded deposition on the basis of size. That means the larger particles or the sediments are deposited near the mouth of submarine canyons and size decreases towards the deep sea plains. Such a deposition is called as graded bedding. Besides, there also occurs a vertical deposition of sediments. That means the sediments, they will become progressively finer upwards within a single sequence of depositional unit. And as it grows in size, it assumes the shape of a fan. Besides the formation of deep sea fans, there is also a gradual process of operation of several turbidity currents at different times. That means we'll have several sequences of graded deposits that are laid down one upon the another. Thus, we'll have the horizontal as well as the vertical growth of the deep sea fans up to several meters in height. Such deposits, they are known as the turbidite deposits. The second relief structures that are observed in the deep sea plains, they are the abyssal hills. Basically, abyssal refers to the bed or the depth or the last layer of the ocean floor. So as you can see, these abyssal plains are the deep sea plains and they are very extensive, but they are the flattest terrain among all the relief features of the oceans. Here, the average slope gradient is about zero point 0.5 degrees. That is one of the reasons why they are the flattest terrains. These abyssal plains are characterized by the pelagic deposits of plants, marine animals, and siliceous remains together with the terrigenous materials. Terrigenous means material that has its origin from land. The depth of these abyssal plains ranges from 3000 meters to 6000 meters. Further, These abyssal plains, they cover about 75.9% area of ocean basins. That means they are very extensive and they are very widespread. These abyssal plains, they cover about 80.3% of the total basin area in Pacific Oceans, 80.1 in Indian Ocean, but it reduces in Atlantic Ocean, which is about 54.9% due to the lesser extent of continental shelves in the Atlantic Ocean. Generally, these abyssal plains are quite featureless. They have very few ridges and a few guyards may be found. We'll discuss about guyards in the next section. Further, the submarine ridges with steep side slopes, sometimes they reach the sea level and they even project above the water surface and they appear as islands. For example, you have Mid-Atlantic Ridge, East Pacific Ridge and the Mid-Indian Ocean Ridge. Further, it has been observed that extensive abyssal plains are found in regions with passive plate margins, that means which do not have much of tectonic activity such as Atlantic and Indian Ocean, while we have very limited abyssal plains associated with active plate margins such as those of Pacific Ocean. The next in the series are the Abyssal Hills. As I have told you earlier also, the abyssal plains which project above the water surface, they are known as abyssal hills, right? So these abyssal hills, they are a variety of hills of volcanic origin that project above the water surface, above the deep sea plains. These may also be volcanic hills and islands or seamounts or table mounts or the guyards. So let's first have a look at the volcanic hills or the islands. These volcanic hills, they are dome-shaped or elongated hills with extensive bases. So these hills with extensive bases, they'll appear above the water surface and they may be about 1 kilometer higher from the ocean floor. Their width, it ranges from zero point 0.1 kilometers to 100 kilometers. So as you can see, we have a very vast range of their width. The second in this series is the Abyssal Hills or the sea knolls. They are also similar to volcanic hills except that their height is lower compared to the volcanic hills. Besides, the conical volcanic hills that are submerged under ocean water, that means they'll never come above the water surface, they are known as seamounts. So we have basically three categories of hills. The volcanic hills, which will project above the water surface. Comparatively of lower altitude are the abyssal hills or the sea knolls. And we also have the conical volcanic hills, which are submerged under ocean water. Besides that, we also have flat-topped volcanic hills. They are known as table mounts or guyards. That means they won't have a conical shape, rather their upper part would be a flat terrain. These seamounts, they are the relict of extinct submarine volcanic mountains with an average height of about 1000 meters from the ocean floor, but they are always below the ocean water. They may occur in isolation or they may occur in groups. So when you have numerous abyssal hills that cluster together on the ocean floor, we call them as abyssal hill provinces. Most of these volcanic hills are found in divergence plates and thus in the consequent seafloor spreading. The last relief feature that we will study here are the ocean deeps and the trenches. So these ocean deeps or trenches are nothing but the depressions on the ocean floors and they are the deepest zones of the entire ocean basin. Generally, they are located parallel to the coast facing the mountains and along the islands. So this category of relief features, it includes two categories, deeps and the trenches. The deeps, they are very deep, less extensive depression, while the trenches, they are long and narrow linear depressions. Both of them are characterized by very steep slopes, sometimes almost arising to the verticality. It is usually named after the explorers who have found them or the geographical locations. For example, the Murray Deep, it has been named after the explorer J. Murray, and the Japan and the Sundar Ranges have been named after their geographic location. So, out of the total 57 deeps that have been explored, the highest number is found in Pacific Ocean, that is up to 32. In Atlantic Ocean, we have 19 deeps, while Indian Ocean has 6 deeps. The deepest, I'm sure most of you would be knowing, is the deepest is the Mariana Trench, that is located to the west of Philippines in North Pacific Ocean with a depth of 11.02 kilometers. So far this is the deepest, ocean trench that has been discovered so far. And generally these ocean deeps are 3 to 5 kilometer deep from ocean floor and found near coastlands and island arcs along the active plate margins where these plates converge and collide. For example, the East and West Pacific Ocean in Japan and Philippines island arcs. What is interesting is that these oceanic trenches are seldom found in the mid-oceanic ridges where the seafloor spreading occurs and the new ocean layer is being formed. So, dear students, with this we'll end the morphology of ocean basins. To sum up, in the previous video, we had studied about the continental shelves and the continental slopes, while in this present video, we have discussed about the deep sea fans, okay, deep abyssal plains, abyssal hills, as well as the oceanic deep and ranges that are observed in the ocean basins. So I hope you all will learn something from it. Thank you.